Yeah, I have 0 empty days.
Yes.
I am constantly, even my days off,
Right.
I have tons of stuff to do, whether it's personal stuff, whether it's work stuff. I'm constantly trying to better myself. I'm constantly trying to further my career. Art Basel, probably, I don't know, 7 years ago.
Okay.
Miley Cyrus was there. Leonardo DiCaprio was there.
Okay.
Miley Cyrus was on one of the go-go stages dancing with one of the go-go dancers. And then Leonardo DiCaprio comes in, gets walked in with like 15 just 10s.
12s.
Beautiful, beautiful women. And I'm like, is this really happening right now? Being there a long time is mentally draining because of the amount of, it's kind of like sensory overload. I'm drained. Not only is it a long time to be there, but loud music. I'm constantly having to think of, what I'm gonna play, when I'm gonna play it. I don't play, you'll never hear the same set from me ever.
This is Rock Talk, where we document short conversations with experienced people in the Rockwell ecosystem. We are here at One Rock Group HQ, and today we are with one of Miami's top DJs, a resident at Elleven, a top 10 nightclub worldwide, a producer, a homie of mine, and somebody I have personally seen in and out of the South Florida DJ industry the last decade plus. Mr. Gray, thanks for taking the time. Thanks for joining us. I'm looking forward into diving into this journey that I have seen from almost the outside, looking in on the windows.
Yeah.
And something that, as I was kind of writing some of these show notes down, where did Mr. Gray come from? What is that?
All right, so the name comes from a Stephen King novel, Dreamcatcher.
Okay.
Originally, I had watched the movie. It turned into a movie, and it was like the only sci-fi movie that I liked.
Okay.
And originally, I was DJ Trauma.
I was going to ask, was that your first name?
Yeah, so DJ Trauma was my first DJ name, and I started getting phone calls from people. Hey, are you on 99 Jams? Hey, did you come out with this song or whatever? And I'm like, no. So I started looking up DJ Traumas. So there was a DJ Trauma with So Def.
Okay.
That was on 99 Jams a bunch.
Okay.
And then there was a DJ Trauma that spun breakbeats, which is what I was spinning at the time, out in Tampa. And then there was one in England. And I'm like, there's way too many traumas.
Yeah. So
I'm like,
it created trauma.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, I need to switch it up. And at the time, Dreamcatcher was my favorite movie. So I'm like, you know what? Let me look up Mr. Gray. There's nothing. Didn't find anything.
There. And
this was before 50 Shades of Grey. So
okay.
There was no Christian Grey at the time.
Yeah. You were the first Grey.
Yes.
So I didn't watch the movie. What's Mr. Gray's role in
he's the main
Dreamcatcher?
alien.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the main alien.
All right. So you come from outer space to bring your inner galaxy sounds to dance floors all around.
Exactly.
Sure, Mr. Gray.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. And while you were DJ Trauma,
yes.
What made you become DJ Trauma? Why become a DJ?
My dad actually did it as a hobby.
Okay.
So we had a bunch of records in the house. We always had turntables. He literally, when we moved down here, the house we moved into, he built a DJ booth in our living room.
Oh, sick.
So we had techniques.
And that's before everybody has, a home setup now to be able to document.
Way before that. Yeah.
Right.
We had the techniques, and then we had the first mixer we had was like a linear tech mixer with like a sampler in there and stuff like that. It was hilarious, from Radio Shack or whatever. Right. But whatever, it worked. That's all that mattered. It was something that I saw, and then I never really got into it until I started going to raves. Okay. So like when I was probably 18 years old, 17, 18, I started going to like warehouse raves and stuff like that.
Is this in South Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would go to those and I would see how the DJ controlled people's mood.
Right. The entire experience.
Yeah. Like back then, that's what it was. You know, you would go there for the music.
Right.
Nobody had cell phones.
Right.
There was no cell phones.
Right.
Taking videos and pictures and stuff. Everybody was there for the music.
On the contrary, if you weren't there wasn't a way to know what you missed, right?
Yeah.
The FOMO was real, where now you know what you missed by the time you wake up.
Yeah,
you know,
for
you
the
see
most
everything.
part, yeah. I mean, back then, like, there weren't really people taking pictures in the clubs and stuff like that. There wasn't videos online. I don't even know if MySpace was even around back then.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
I'm an old man, so
Hey, old men. Speaking of old men, who are some of the older guys when DJ Trauma was getting into the craft that you might have looked up to or referenced, or like who maybe were some references to you?
All right, so the number one inspiration to me was DJ Craze.
Okay.
In the technical aspect of it. I mean, he's
Very
always been insanely talented.
Yeah, he's a monster.
You know.
He's talented and creative,
Yes.
which then together gives you like something special.
Yeah, exactly. And I was into turntablism, so like Craze, Qbert, those were two guys that I looked up to. And then at the raves, I would go see, you know, DJ Icey because I was into breakbeats and stuff like that. So he was a very clean mixer. And then locally, Edgar V, who worked In the Dark, I think it was called, in Davie. And so I would go see him and talk to him, and like every time I saw him DJ, like in the mix, no, it was called The Mix. In South Beach, like he never made a mistake. He was so seamless and on vinyl. So like all these DJs now, they like, it's easy. You'd look at the waveform now and you're like, oh, there's the kick drum, there's the snare, I can match those up. No, like I never heard him make a mistake. So like that's what I really focused in on. And same with Icey. Like I would see him play on 3, sometimes 4 turntables.
That's wild.
You know, and he would mix seamlessly, and it was so inspirational. And like that's why, like now, I pride myself in my seamless transitions from song to song, genre to genre, and stuff like that.
Well, you don't know which DJ Trauma is out there watching you for their inspiration.
Yeah, right.
And that's right. Like now you're the inspo that people are looking into. You know, they go for a night out, they end up in a top 10 nightclub of the world, Elleven. They look in the booth, they're like, why do I feel this way? Who's giving me, this energy through the music? And it's you, right? And then I'm sure there's 900 screens that remind them that it's Mr. Gray playing, right? And so then they go online and they're able to find you. And even if they didn't speak to you that day, I guarantee you're inspiration to a lot of DJs out there that are either just getting into it and, their dream would be to play in a nightclub like Elleven, or not into it at all. And now they want to be into it because they see, this experience, and no different than when you went to the rave and you were like, wow, that guy over there is controlling this whole room right now. Pretty cool, right? I want to be that guy. You get the goosebumps. And if you don't get the goosebumps, you're dead, right? It's this feeling inside of you. So, all right, so I want to, and this is in no specific order. So I want to go from DJ Trauma, watching Pops in the living room, essentially doing, a hobby, right? And falling in love with the craft, the perfectionist approach from some of these original inspirations you had. And we fast forward and now you're at Elleven, right? Top 10 nightclub in the world.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? And I'm speaking, the question is more of the opportunity. How'd the opportunity come about?
All right. So at the time I was with OFM Talent.
Okay.
And I, at the time, had the ability to blend electronic music with hip hop.
Okay.
In top 40. And I was doing a lot of edits back then, and that was kind of my specialty. And not a lot of people were doing that.
I was going to say, it now open format is that.
Yeah.
Back before then, it was you were either dance or you were open format. And open format was more of like some top 40, hip hop, Latin, and that was kind of like what open format was classified as. In 2025, I feel like open format is like half dance, half everything else that we kind of just mentioned, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Something important to point out, because a DJ that's been doing it for 3 years, open format is dance music. So what are you talking about,
Yeah.
Back then it wasn't. You were playing Future and you were playing, Farruko. You were not playing John Summit, right?
Correct,
Back then.
yeah,
So my bad to cut you off, but
oh no.
So you had the ability to kind of blend those things together at a time when not every open format DJ was doing that.
Correct, yeah. So Alana, the person that was running OFM, she called me up and she's like, hey, do you want to play at Elleven on Thursday in a couple weeks. And I'm like, definitely.
Absolutely.
So I went in there and I played what I played. They wanted somebody that could play a high energy open format set. No, but I shouldn't say open format. So a high energy like dance set, but that blends different genres together.
Right.
And that's exactly what I was very good at. And so I didn't play anything that was below 126 BPM.
Okay.
Everything was 126 to 130. And within half an hour of my set, two of the owners came up to me and they're like, hey, do you want to play here every week? I'm like, yes, I do.
Well, as a matter of fact, let me check. Yep.
So the next week I started.
Did you know, I don't think any of us knew, right? Because I remember when Elleven was being built, they're putting Elleven where?
Yeah.
Gold Rush? Like, isn't that where you go for chicken nuggets at 6 a.m.? Like, that's the only thing you do there, right? The little window on the side before you went to Space or Nocturne or I'm sorry, Hard at that time, etc. Did you have a feeling Elleven was going to be the success that it was today? Or was that something that, like, through time just showed itself?
I didn't know at the time how big the brand was going to get.
Right.
But they were very smart about what they did with branding.
Right.
And I know they had some issues with the first couple months. I remember there was some friends of mine that were working there and then they got let go because they revamped everything.
Right.
After 2 months. They're like, yeah, we're redoing everything. They were trying to be too Vegas where they, like the door guys were just kind of like jerks about certain things and they were getting a bad reputation.
And Miami had already gone through the South Beach era where we rejected it. That's why Wynwood, and Brickell came about.
Yeah.
Where, if we wanted that mistreatment at the door to feel important, we would have just stayed at the beach. Right? But that eliminated itself because, the industry or the city, right? The people, the demographic in the city rejected it. Yeah. And so, but I think it's very important to point out that, at 2 months in, they redid everything.
Yep.
That's important in business. It's not always a failure just because something didn't work. I think it's super important to catch when something's not working and fix it before it fails, right? Now, obviously, you don't want to jump just because something didn't go right for 6 hours, like, oh, we got to change everything up. It's been 6 hours. But, if you give it a 2-3 month run and there's certain things that you're seeing are not going to, go well, change it then, right? Don't wait till you're a year or 2 years in and now it's unchangeable and now you got to come out with 12, another brand, right? Like, it's no longer Elleven. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of clubs over the years where they have a night that they try out and they try for 2 weeks and then they're like, oh,
didn't
it's
work.
not working. I'm like,
yeah. No one even knows.
No
one even knows the night's going on.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. But they just want that quick buck. What's going to make me money? And you got to understand, like if you open up a club, you got to imagine you're not going to make a profit for 2 years.
Yes.
You're not going to profit for 2 years. You got to keep reinvesting all the money you get in. You keep reinvest. And I think that's really with any business, any real business, you keep reinvesting your money. And
it's the only way you make it to as big of a brand as you would want it to be as a business, as long as it's not a cash flow approach, I'm in business for 5 years. We're going to milk this thing out. We have prime location. We got prime product. Go, baby, go. Then it's a different approach. But we knew from outside looking in that Elleven wasn't taking that approach.
Definitely not.
You're building on a street that at the time was full of homeless and tons of opportunity to develop, right? It's not like they came into a poppin' 11th Street where everybody's at now at 3 a.m. and opened a nightclub. No. Yeah. They were the part of the reason as to why 11th Street is popping at that, at that time now. So I think it's important to point out. Now, it's no secret, right, that Elleven is a special place. But on certain nights, it's also a wild place, right? Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a question, and I want you to let us know what's the first thing that comes to mind, all right? Mm-hmm. So craziest experience as a DJ at Elleven, what comes to mind?
All right, Art Basel, probably, 7 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe longer, probably 8 years ago. Miley Cyrus was there. Leonardo DiCaprio was there. Okay. Miley Cyrus was on one of the go-go stages, dancing with one of the go-go dancers. And then Leonardo DiCaprio comes in, gets walked in with like 15 just 10s.
12s.
Just beautiful, beautiful women. And I'm like, is this really happening right now? And Yeah,
Were
at
you
the
playing?
time.
Were you playing at
What's
the
that?
time?
I was actually just hanging out.
Okay.
You know, I was just hanging out. So like just witnessing all that in one, and like obviously the place is ram packed with people. But that would probably be the wildest moment as far as like, you know, what's happened there. You know,
While you've been there.
yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, we've had a lot of different celebrities there, and
I was gonna piggyback that question next.
For like really, like I've DJ'd for a lot of really cool people. You know, like I opened and closed for Drake a couple times, and that was pretty wild.
Who's been your favorite celebrity or artist to DJ for? And it doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest, right?
Yeah.
We had Obi on here a couple days ago, and to him, like the most impressive person or celebrity that he played for was the Black Power Ranger.
Oh wow, really?
He was DJing a set one day. He looks on. He's like, "Is that the Black Power Ranger at my club?" Right. So Drake would probably be one of the bigger names, right? Leonardo DiCaprio. But what was your favorite celebrity where you were almost like, "Damn, this is cool," right? Like this is a wild moment.
As far as like wild moment or DJing for a celebrity, I mean, Drake would definitely be up there. My favorite performers there, honestly, Fetty Wap was a very good performance.
Okay, I actually haven't seen him there.
Very good performance.
He doesn't get booked all that often like some of the other guys.
I think he's in jail.
Oh, that would
Yeah, I think he went to jail
that.
like a week after he performed at Elleven.
Oh, no shit, because he was at Elleven. That's what happened. What are some of the benefits of being a resident at a top 10 nightclub in the world like Elleven?
Whenever I like go to places or something like that, like travel to DJ and whatnot, like there's some status that comes with it.
Okay.
I don't flaunt that I'm a Elleven resident DJ to people. And, for a while I would wear the Elleven hats a lot. That actually got me, more recognition from random people than anything else. I remember I went to, I think Lavo in New York or something like that. And I had my Elleven hat on, and like, this guy was like, "Oh my God, what's up, bro? I was just there a couple weeks ago. Let me buy you guys a round of shots." And we hung out with the guy all night. He bought us all like a bunch of drinks and stuff. I got super drunk. And
you're like, "I actually stole the hat. I don't know anybody."
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. I mean, funny story about that. Like that night happened, and I got really drunk. This is when I was off the rails. And like my friend and I went back to the hotel, and he stayed in the hotel, and I just started taking public transportation at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Why not? It's a good time.
All my friends were like, "Dude, you probably could have gotten murdered.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?" And by the end of it, I ended up where the towers were.
Okay.
It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. The sun's coming up, and I'm like,
I gotta go.
I'm looking at where the towers were and stuff, and I'm like, I need to get back to the hotel. So like, I literally took the subway, got off there somewhere. I don't have no idea where I was. Got on the bus. I got on the bus from there, and then took that somewhere, and then got off there, and then literally just like walked through the streets of New York.
That's crazy. And then did your boy wake up and you were like, "Where's Mr. Gray?"
Oh yeah, I told him like when I got back, I told him what I did, and he's like, "Are you crazy?
Are you
doing?" Like, no, whatever.
I had a similar I was your friend, right? But I had a similar situation in New York. A friend of mine, we went to go visit he had a friend that lived in New York. I had a friend that lived in New York. We all went out together. Everybody got shit-faced. I ended up like crashing at my boy's house, but he was like, "Fuck it, I'm just, I'll take the subway back home." Right. And then the next day we connected, and he's like, "Bro, it was a 4-hour trip. I fell asleep on the subway.
Oh
I woke up because there was a homeless guy pissing next to me, and we get on me. Like I got peed on by a homeless. All this is going on. And like, meanwhile, I was like having leftover hamburger at my boy's house hanging out. Like everything was all good, So it was like your story, but like completely inverted, right? Where I was your boy and like, wait, what the fuck, 7 a.m. Where's everybody at?
Luckily, I didn't get peed on, so that's good.
It was a much better story for you. Chicken tenders at Elleven.
Yeah.
What do you rate them?
I mean, so that was a thing. Like I think that I helped launch the chicken tender craze at Elleven because I would constantly post about the chicken tenders. And that was kind of a thing for me. And I haven't had the chicken tenders there in probably 6 years.
No shit.
Yeah.
Everybody still recognizes you with the chicken tenders.
Yeah, I get the chicken Caesar wrap now if I actually eat there. But
you're gonna
for the most part,
trend?
like I bring like a protein bar with me now.
What do those hours look like? Yeah, buddy. Here we go.
Wild.
Yeah.
So I'm there 9 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
when I'm there on Thursday. So like this past week, I was there Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
9 to 9.
So Wednesday is actually 8 p.m. to 9 a.m.
Okay.
So we open up at 8 p.m. Wednesday and we close 10 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay.
So I'm there Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. Thursday morning. And then I have to drive an hour to my house, try to sleep, and then wake up, hopefully go to the gym or get a jog in or something, start my day.
Some type of motion.
Yeah. And then I go back 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. Thursday. And then I have my gigs on Fridays and Saturdays. And then Sunday I come back because I'm covering for Zeus. And I'm there 9 p.m. to 10 a.m.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
Nice. And then it's closed Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Luckily, right? That's due to COVID, because before
it was 24/7.
I remember that. That's insane for staff and I mean for DJs. So it's always glamorous to talk about, oh, you're a resident, top 10, but I like the pain points, right? The 36 hours in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like that type of conversation, right? What's another challenge that you face being in a room like that where the demand is high? I'm sure there's pressure, you don't know who's showing up at what time. You got the dancers to worry about. You got the money counter next to you. You got the light guys. You got the managers. You got spenders. You got artists. You got athletes. You got celebrities. You got now Giselle on top, right? Full restaurant. So now you got that whole commotion in back of the house. Like, what are some other challenges that you face that maybe somebody out there looking at your Instagram wouldn't think of?
Honestly, like, being there a long time is mentally draining because of the amount of, it's kind of like sensory overload.
Yes.
With loud music,
lights,
everything.
Yes.
So for an extended amount of time, like I'm drained. Not only is it a long time to be there, but loud music, I'm constantly having to think of, what I'm going to play, when I'm going to play it. I don't play, you'll never hear the same set from me ever.
That's amazing.
Ever. It will never happen.
That's one of the main topics we talk about with residents.
Yeah.
How sets kind of get, repeated and older, and it's nobody's fault, like the staff is there every week, but the guest isn't, right?
Correct.
Like the DJ's there every week, but the guest isn't. So it's like kind of delivering this experience in a way where it's a little different versus, approach you're taking is kind of like, I purposely want my set to be different, right?
Yeah.
Like you want the bottle girl to be like, who's DJ tonight? Oh shit, it's Mr. Gray again? Like, I didn't even notice, right? Like, I think that's an important thing to point out because venues face that challenge very often. And DJs, in my opinion, are not doing enough work on their end to make it sound different. And I get it, right?
Yeah.
You're playing 5-6 times a week, especially with a schedule like yours, like you might not have all the time in the world to prep for your set, right? But if you're working 12-hour shifts and you're finding a way to do it, there might be a way to do it, right?
Look,
you just have to find out how to do it.
There is enough time in the day. You just have to make that time. You have to make sure that your time management is on point. And if you need to put into your iCalendar, this is when I set aside time to, download new music. Like, I'll download just new remixes or new edits of songs that I play regularly, just so I'm not playing the same exact edit.
I love that.
Do I play a lot of the same edits? Yes, because they're mine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
A lot of the stuff that you'll hear me play on a regular basis, I play because it's mine. And I appreciate my own.
And other DJs
craft.
are playing yours as well. So you might hear it, but it's still, coming from you.
Yeah, but I'm always trying to figure out how I can play the same 150 songs in different ways.
Yep. One of my main messages is always have a plan. Right?
Yeah.
If you don't know where you're trying to go, you're never going to get there because you don't know where you're trying to go.
Correct.
And so if you know where you're going and you kind of inadvertently come up with a plan on how to get there, then even if you don't get there as fast as you hope, or maybe there's a couple turns you didn't account for along the way, but you almost always end up there or somewhere near, right? Sometimes in a better place that you didn't even know existed, sometimes in a worse place, and that will be part of the plan to get you to where you need to get to. You seem from some of the comments you've made today, and then obviously me knowing you for a decade, as someone that has a plan, right? Someone that wakes up with some type of objectives in mind, right? Whether it's music or content or a specific gig you're going after or, outside of DJing. What is this like day-to-day routine look for you? How is it that you do make time, right? And obviously time management is how, but in a more detailed way, what are some Mr. Gray time management systems or tactics that you go for?
Yeah, honestly, the funny thing is I still struggle with that.
Everyone does, for sure.
I used to just let the day go. I would just do stuff. And it got to a point where, I needed to figure out a way to handle everything I was doing. I've always been the type of person that overloads myself with work because I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
In the past, certain things would get thrown to the wayside, whether it's, I would complete the task 2 days later than it should have been, or whatever the case may be. I was constantly just taking on too much and not setting a schedule for myself. So one of the things over the years that I've done is I started listening to audiobooks and reading books, mostly self-help books or what's classified as self-help books. Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books. I've read the regular book. I listen to the audiobook all the time, and it helped me break all these habits that I had over the years that held me back, really. If you really think about it, it held me back from progressing. There were points in time in my life where I got comfortable.
Sure.
So I just kind of glided for a couple years where I should have been pushing forward.
That's where you double down.
Yeah. So number one thing, set up your schedule the day before. When you're in bed or you're on the shitter, just
what a good
schedule
time
your
to
next
set,
day.
right?
Like
my favorite time.
Everybody takes their phone to the bathroom.
Yep.
Don't play Candy Crush. Don't go on Instagram. Go on your iCalendar and see what you have to do the next day, and then start setting it up.
If your iCalendar's empty, it should be a dead giveaway that's where you should start.
Yes.
Figure out what is it you want to do, when you're trying to do it, and plug it in.
Yeah.
And now you have some type of North Star, right? Some type of compass to guide yourself over.
Yeah, I have 0 empty days.
Yes.
I am constantly, even my days off.
Right.
I have tons of stuff to do, whether it's personal stuff, whether it's work stuff. I'm constantly trying to better myself. I'm constantly trying to further my career. I don't know who said this and where I heard it from, but every day you should get 1% better. And that's what, I think it was Atomic Habits. It was,
I think it was you, Brian. No, I'm kidding. It definitely wasn't me.
No, it was, I think it was
growth,
the Russian bicycling team or something.
Okay.
They were losing everything, and then they hired somebody, and he just started changing like the pillows that they used to sleep, the sheets, the mattress, different things on the bicycles, and within like 3 years they won.
Gave everyone
so
steroids.
much stuff.
And then that's it. Problem solved, dude. We're
Roids.
We're rolling out. We're okay.
No,
I love that model though, because if you were to focus on just the micro little things every day, and you go to, see how the month went more on a macro view, you had 30 improvements, you're probably in a better place at the end of the month.
100%.
100,000%.
And, you're going to have days where you're going to get knocked down. You're going to have bad days. It's okay.
Yes.
Don't let that suck you in to the negative aspect of life. Just let it go.
Or learn from it.
Exactly.
Right? Learn from it.
Ultimately, that's what you need to do. You need to learn from it. And I always try to take negatives and make them positives. And I teach my kids that on a regular basis where, you're going to mess up. It's going to happen. Forever.
It's impossible for it not to happen.
Yeah. I know that I'm going to make mistakes forever. It's trying to minimize the mistakes. And when you make the mistake, try to not make the same mistake.
Over again. Right.
Which I do sometimes still, but it is what it is. I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm going to keep trying to be better. I know that I'm not going to be perfect. It is what it is.
Yep.
Forever, I was so focused on trying to be perfect for other people. And those other people don't matter in my life, really. Ultimately, when I'm 80 years old, those people are going to be
we were just talking about 80-year-old Gray before we got rolling.
It's only a couple years away, you know what I'm saying?
Here's like the way I look at it. How many friends did we have in first grade that we have no idea where they're at?
Yeah.
Right now, currently.
All of my friends.
I had 64 kids, 2 classes, 30 plus kids each. When we were in my middle school, it was the type of middle school where like you knew everyone's first and last name, you knew their mom's names, you knew their dad's name. I could still tell you probably like 20 kids that I grew up with in my middle school, their home address, right? Like
wow.
home phone numbers, because back then no cell phone, you had to memorize shit, right?
Yep.
Like I get together with some, like, there's 4 or 5, the nucleus that I grew up with, and we're still, stay in touch and this and that. And like every once in a while, I'll hit them with the like, yo, so-and-so, like, what happens if I call 3? And it's like my boy's grandmother's house line. Like she's not even with us on this planet anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, he's like, fuck, do you know that number? It's like muscle memory and routines. I would call him every day on my house number. I would have to see the number, put the number in myself. We were talking about routines. Outside of set up and schedule yourself, is there something else that comes to mind that you attribute some of the success on being able to be prepared?
I mean, that's really it. Like, you just have to do it.
Yes.
Like, don't procrastinate. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. No, do it now.
You said something earlier that made me think of my dad, and now you just said procrastinate again.
Yeah.
So I'll bring it up. I don't know where he got this from, because I was a straight A student my whole life, never got in trouble, super, awesome kid. But every once in a while, maybe I would like put something off to the last minute.
Yeah.
Like once or twice before. And so I got home one day, and I think my dad had enough of me barely making the homework turn-in time, like he'd be like, how's whatever project? Oh, good, I'm working on it. It's due 14 days from now. And how's that project? It's amazing, I'm almost done. It's due 8 days from now. I haven't even read the project. I don't know what it's about, right? And then the day before, I'm like, hey, Dad, can you help me with this project? It's due at 8 a.m. And he's like, isn't that the one I asked you about 2 weeks ago? I'm like, no, I did that one. There's another one. It's the same one, right? So I got home one day, and it had a saying that I probably will never forget in my life. Funny how, dads do this to us, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you do this now to your kids, and I will one day soon do the same. Procrastination is the key to success if failure is the plan.
Ah, that's good.
Wow.
I like that.
Great. Goosebumps.
Ah, I love it.
If not, you're dead.
That's a good saying.
So I'll transition on that point. And let's get a little more DJ talk now within Mr. Gray and your DJ career. What are some lessons you've learned along the way? Your DJ trauma. You thought you had it figured out. Now we're sitting here 2025, DJ Mr. Gray. What are some lessons you've learned along the way that now you're looking back and you're like, duh, I should have known that. But obviously at the time you didn't. That's why you know now, is because you learned the lesson.
Yeah.
What's like a lesson that comes to mind?
Number one, I mentioned it before about being comfortable.
Okay.
Don't be comfortable.
Oh, I love that.
Don't be comfortable. When you're comfortable,
I love that.
That means you're not going forward. You're not trying something new. You're not trying to be better.
The definition of trying something new is feeling uncomfortable because it's new.
Yeah.
So by default, then, if you're comfortable, you're not trying new things. And therefore, if we're not growing, you're dying. That's something else my dad used to always say. It comes from the sales world, but basically, if you're not growing your clients, you're dying, because at any given moment, you might lose a client. And then now which trajectory are you going in? So if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah.
But okay, so don't be comfortable. I love that. And couldn't co-sign that more as far as like a lesson that you should learn without having to learn it for yourself. Don't get comfortable. What's another lesson that might come to mind?
This one's more for, well, I guess it could be for anybody, but a lot of up and coming DJs that ask me about getting into venues, I tell them, pick 3 venues that you want to get into and just start going. Start meeting people. Start, meet the security, meet the bartenders, meet the management, just let things happen organically.
Yep.
Because, if you just go there looking for a gig, more than likely you're not going to get it. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're a good DJ, especially if you don't have a name for yourself yet.
Right.
You have to meet people. Networking is the number one thing in this industry, is networking. And that's something I struggled with for years and years and years. I very rarely went out. But when I did, every single time I went out, I got a different gig.
Yeah.
At a different spot.
A different contact in the phone now, and 5 years later, oh, that's right, I met him on that night that I didn't want to go out, and I forced myself to, and like, now he's the manager at Live. Okay, this is cool. I'm glad I went out that night.
Yeah, you never know. Like, a bar back could become the GM of a top nightclub.
Yep.
I've seen it happen
Time and
multiple
time
times.
again, correct.
You don't know what other people's paths are.
Yep.
So if you cross paths with 100 people, make sure those 100 people have a positive recollection of you.
Right.
And,
what's the
keep
most
up with
important
that.
thing so that recollection is positive? What as a person trying to
Just
network?
Be nice.
Be a good fucking person.
That's it. That's
So,
all. That's all it takes.
I say
Just
this
be a good
almost
person,
every
yes.
episode because I'm the non-DJ in the conversation, so it comes out. As a booker,
Yeah.
right? We get hit up every single day. Hey, I'm DJ so-and-so. I'm exactly who you've been looking for. You know, I'm the best DJ in the world and you don't know about it yet. Well, no one does, but like, I know I am. You know, maybe you could book me at Elleven. And it's like, whoa, how did we get here? You know, like, how about like just an introduction and like, maybe here's a mix and like, tell me what you think, right? Like, not like, book me at a top 10 nightclub in the world in the same email that you're introducing yourself. I don't know if that's going to be the move, right? But I think being a good person is the number one thing I look for as a booker.
Yeah.
Right. And I would say that time and time again, I've heard from the venues the same thing. You can be the best DJ in the world, but there's so many good DJs in today's day and age, and especially in the South Florida market, that if you're the best DJ in the city, but you're not enjoyable to speak with, you're not getting booked. They're going with somebody else.
For sure.
So I always say the first most important thing to point out is be a good person.
Yeah.
The second most important point is still not be a good DJ. It's be professional.
Oh yeah.
Because you might be the best DJ, but if you're always 10 minutes late, no one wants to work with you, because now that's someone's headache night of, in this case, let's say the booker is going to get a text from the manager. Hey, we open in 8 minutes. The DJ's still not here. What the fuck? And now I got to work at 9 p.m. on a Friday because you decided to leave your house 20 minutes late because, like, you know, they'll wait for me. No, right? So that's definitely point number 2. And then point number 3 is be a good DJ, right? And it's always in that order for me. It's never, you know what? He's one of the best DJs we know. Real pain in the ass to speak to. When he calls me, my toes curl. It ruins my day. But like, let's book him because he's never.
Yeah.
Never. You know what I mean? So I think it is important to point out, because I think it's important on how you present yourself in that first conversation.
Oh yeah. First impressions.
Everything.
Go a long.
Because your second impression might be amazing, but it's not even heard because the first impression was, you know, I know what you're after, so like, I'm not entertaining this.
Yeah.
And now I didn't hear that mix that you sent me on your third email when you should have sent it in the first one, and I would have probably checked it out.
Yeah.
Right? So we spoke about lessons. I want to...
Actually, I want to say one more.
Let's go, because this is how we're ending the show. At the end, I'm bringing these lessons back full circle, so hit me.
You got to remember that it's not about you.
Oof. Okay.
It's not
What do you mean
about,
by
it's
that?
about the crowd. It's about the people that are spending money to keep that venue open so that you have a job. Absolutely. Because if you're just playing whatever you want and don't care about the crowd and they leave, you don't have a job.
Yep. Or worse, let's say they just, you're the owner's son. You have a job.
Yeah.
The venue won't be open down the line because it can't make money if everybody leaves.
Correct.
So even if they don't fire you, they're going to have to fire themselves one day when they have to close the doors.
Yeah.
Because nobody stays in business losing money time after time after time if the formula is not right, right?
Correct.
So if it's not at least an investment. So
yeah. So you have to
it's
be
not
able
about
to,
you.
You have to be able to read the crowd and play what they want.
So reading the crowd is a skill that DJs learn, and I think it is something that like has to be explained, shown, and experienced, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Outside of reading the crowd, why do you think DJs think it's all about them? Where does this come from, right? Like, because I get that all the time, right? The me, look at me, right? I'm the center of the room. I'm the center of attention. You see all these white lights on me. It's me. People here for me, right? Why would anybody think that? Where does that come from?
Well, because they see like the big DJs.
Okay.
Where it's about them.
Sure.
But those big DJs, if you look at the top 100 DJs, they're not really that good of DJs. They make good music.
Good music, correct.
That's
They're getting
what it is.
booked for their product.
So like
Not
the
their
people
skill.
the people that go see them, it's like going to see a rock band.
Right.
You're going to see that rock band play their music.
A performance.
Exactly. It's a performance. But when you're an open format DJ at a club where 95% of the people there don't know who you are,
Right.
you need to play music for them, not for you. Honestly, that's so right now I'm actually in the process of rebranding myself and kind of almost starting over. So I have a 2-year plan. This kind of goes back to
You have a plan? Wait a minute.
the whole plan where I'm trying to transition from an open format DJ to an electronic music artist.
Okay.
Where I can sell 500 tickets to a show.
Right.
you know?
People are
and
coming to
people
see
are
you.
coming to see me and hear my music.
Right.
I don't want to be an open format DJ. Do I love being an open format DJ? Yes, I still do. I will forever. I love all styles of music. And you'll hear that in all of my
I was going to
music.
say, that doesn't have to go away.
It doesn't.
It could still be implemented
Correct.
into it.
And that's the thing, like, people have asked me what style of music my album is or what kind of music I'm going to be making. I'm just like, electronic music.
Good music. That's what type of music.
Like, I'm going to make whatever I feel like making. And that's what I'm going to push. And will it take a while for me to, you know, get big if I ever do? Maybe.
Sure.
But at least I'm making stuff I want to make. And that I can say I made that and not feel like it's garbage.
And it has a reflection towards you.
Correct.
Right? It's you through sound.
Yeah.
I think it's also how you package and present things, right?
For sure.
That's very important in the entertainment industry, even more than even other industries, right? But a good comparison is like, we keep referring to Elleven as a top 10 nightclub in the world.
Yeah.
It's a strip club,
Yes.
but the world knows it as a nightclub.
It's an ultra club.
So you see tomato,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So is it Mr. Gray the producer? Is it Mr. Gray the EDM performer? Is it Mr. Gray the open format DJ? The answer is D, all of the above, right? But whatever you call it on the client facing, on the forefront, is what people are going to know it as. And then all the other things you put into it are the elements that make you stand out.
Yes.
And I think you do have a great opportunity in the world where people, like you just mentioned, top 100 DJs, they're not all that great of a DJ, right? So you go see their performance, it's kind of like seeing the rock star, but then you go see them and they're lip singing. Right? Like, I feel
Somewhat,
like
yeah.
that's kind of the comparison I see when it's like you're going to one of these really, and not like a festival per se, but like a nightclub with one headliner.
Yeah.
You know, kind of, you know, it's a little fabricated, or at least it's some type of preset or something that's coming into it. And I think open format DJs in today's market that also produce have a very big opportunity to not only put out good quality music that they know would work because they're in these rooms playing open format music all the time.
Yeah.
So they know what Table 32 wants to hear. They know what the 10 Bachelorette girls want to hear, right? So they're making music already with that, whether consciously or subconsciously, in mind, right? Like, I know this would hit.
Yeah.
Where the other guy has been in a room for 10 years, right? He's not out. He's not in the room. He's not playing open format in these rooms. So he's really just going off of, I would like to hear this played in that room or in this festival.
Correct,
or
yeah.
whatever. And so someone like yourself has this combination where it's like, this is what I want to make so that I get known for this, but I'm going to do it in a way where I know it's going to work because I have 10, 15 years of experience with that.
Yeah.
Not everyone has that, brother. So it's like, I think extremely important for you to capitalize on that. And if not you being, let's say, in the forefront, first one, I think this is a wave that is soon to come, right? Where any travel open format DJ should be looked at as a performing artist at a certain point.
Yeah.
If not, you're doing yourself a disservice by diluting yourself, no different than a local open format guy. You're just a travel open format guy. And if you're all playing the same open format sets, then as a venue, how the fuck would I book you? It's
Yeah.
cheaper to book my guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Ultimately, so I started making edits to be different because I knew as an open format DJ, I'm playing the same thing that everybody else is.
Exact
Because-
thought process MK had.
Yeah. And I was literally just thinking about him because he does a great job of, like, his edits are good and he's a very, very good DJ, very talented DJ. And watching him and seeing his edits and seeing him grow, he has a very bright future. You know what I'm saying? He's doing all the right things. He's one thing that helps you when you're doing edits and making different things is you always have to be on top of music. You have to know,
Gotta know what it is.
all the new stuff is. You have to be on top. Otherwise, you're going to get, surpassed by 50 other guys that are, trying to do the same thing
The
you
young
are,
guy
but
that's hungry in
they're
his
working
room.
harder.
Yes, they're outworking you at the end of
And
the
it's
day.
just like everything else, athletes, you hear that all the time from athletes because there's so many people trying to make it as an athlete.
Competing for that
But-
one spot.
The person that's working the hardest is going to get that spot.
You know what I've also seen? If the person that didn't work the hardest maybe it's just pure talent, right? You got that quarterback that he doesn't practice, bro, but you got to have him on the team because you got a 98% completion rate. You know, like it is what it is. I've seen, maybe not in every situation, the outliers exist, but I've seen it goes just as quick as it comes in those situations because you don't have the foundation and you keep building up, right? You're a pop league wide receiver. You can't miss. If we throw the ball within your zip code, you catch it.
Yeah.
Well, then you made the team and you're in 8th grade and you're in 9th grade and now you're a sophomore varsity player. And like, you're still on the team. You got to stick them on your hands. You can't miss the freaking ball, right? Like, what's that movie, The Replacements? It looks like I just jacked off an elephant, coach. Amazing movie. So, you know, and you keep growing, right? But at a certain point, you're now, so, you know, in high school, the pool was good players.
Yeah.
And then you went to college, some of that pool disappeared.
Oh,
They're not in college. Now you're amongst a better pool. And now you still stand out, but, you know, maybe not as much. Now you maybe, let's say you go pro. Then you hear, oh, this guy, he was supposed to be God's gift to earth, the next huge superstar. And then 2 years in, you're like, oh, whatever happened to so-and-so? And it's because now you're in the big show and the guy next to you has been practicing with a different type of demeanor, with a different type of mindset, the discipline, the preparation, the coordination, the having a plan, and now getting here because of that plan. Yeah. It builds tough skin. Yeah. You're built different at that point. Where the other guy, it's kind of always been handed to him and it's been given to him. And like, you know, God loves me. I bench 325 and I don't have to work out, you know? Like, yeah, that's all good until you're in a room with 2 other guys that are benching 325 and they want it more, motherfucker. They won't get it, you know? And you're like, oh, I don't know. It's not fair. I don't know why I got cut. Maybe the last 15 years of being comfortable has a reason to do with that.
Yeah. Along the sports line, so obviously I'm a big
I got you going in the sports
I'm a baseball fan, and specifically pitchers. I really appreciate pitchers and people that can, you know, pitchers that can really have hitters off balance. Paul Skeens is a very popular pitcher right now, and I watched the video. What's that?
Guy puts it wherever he wants.
Pretty much, yeah. And he, you know, throws 100-mile-an-hour fastball. It's pretty good. But I watched a video about him and his warm-up routine. Okay. Is 2 hours long.
No shit.
Just to warm up. 2 hours.
Don't get me going, coach.
Every day. Every day.
Routine.
Why do you think he's
discipline?
A top pitcher? Right there.
There's nothing else you can throw at that guy where he would be like, bro, that's too much. He's warming up for 2 hours. Yeah. Nothing after that's going to scare him or get him tired. Yeah. You know?
If you ever watch him pitch and he's in a jam, same demeanor as when he's striking out 14 people. Same demeanor.
Favorite baseball player all time?
Nolan Ryan.
Holy shit, that was quick. Okay. How come?
He was just a tank. He's a stud just unbelievable pitcher. You know, I think
at a time where the sport was probably harder. Right? It was a little more difficult. I feel like it's gotten a little soft, just like every other sport.
No, man.
No?
Like, the technology now with being able to, like, pinpoint specific things in your swing and specific things about your pitching motion and stuff like that. Like, I see my son, you know, he's a sophomore in college and he's a pitcher. Being able to, like, record yourself with an iPad and then compare yourself to Nolan Ryan and his pitching mechanics versus your pitching mechanics. You can literally pinpoint exactly how to pitch like Nolan Ryan.
But the batters are also doing the same thing on how to hit your
ass. And that's why it's harder. Because you have all this technology, you know, and then obviously, you know, over time your workout regimens are a lot more tight-knit than back in the days. And, you know, like Babe Ruth was, you know, smoking cigarettes and then just going up and cracking home runs, you know, or, you know.
That has to make it harder, though. You have no parameters. You have no expectations. You have no scouting report other than the guy that went to the game the week before, you know, with the little hat. Yeah. Like, you know, like, and you're going up there blind naked on your first date. And you're like, all right, motherfucker, here's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Figure it out.
Yeah, I guess in that aspect, yes, for sure.
You're warming up with cigarette breaks in between because, like, they're not bad for you yet, right? Now, fast forward 30 years later, you're like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be smoking on planes. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like,
that's
do you remember going to Denny's at 5 a.m. and sitting in the smoking section and you're just like, well, how is this legal? How is this legal? Like, back then it was normal, right? It was like hash browns. I'm going to go some extra cash. It's like the guy's literally right next to you blowing a cigarette. Now it's like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You tell a 12-year-old like, oh, back in the day, you used to smoke a cigarette right here while you were eating, and they look
Because
at
it was
you.
cool.
Yeah, you look at you like you're a ghost.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? That's so dumb.
So
because
crazy.
you didn't know. Speaking of knowing, what are some systems that help you as a DJ so that you know what to expect in your day-to-day? And I mean more of like maybe an accounting software that helps you, not so much like routine-wise, but like actual systems, right? Maybe a mailing software to send some blasts out, or a scheduling software for your social medias, or your team, right? You have certain people that help you out as far as getting content. What are some of these systems that allow you to get as much content as you normally get and really ultimately play the amount of hours you do on a weekly basis? What are some of these systems you rely on?
Oddly enough, I don't really have
Okay.
like true systems. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do like the scheduling thing.
Sure.
That's my main system.
Are you going through Instagram directly?
What do you mean for
Like
scheduling?
scheduling posts and things?
No. So like my iCalendar.
Okay.
So like I use that as my schedule. So like the night before, I'll put my
Gotcha.
schedule together, and I know that between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the prime days for posting up reels or
Gotcha.
TikToks or whatever. So I know that I need to post at that time. So I make time for that. And then as far as like sending out invoices, I use QuickBooks. And then like,
Okay.
you know, Mondays or Tuesdays, I'll set aside,
QuickBooks
30
is
minutes to do
super
that.
important.
It's super easy.
How many DJs do you know that are not using QuickBooks?
Most
That's crazy, right? Me
most
too.
of them.
Me too.
Like I'll see like a Word document that barely has any information. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
What is this?
You're like 35 years old. Like,
You've been
here's my
DJing for
subscription to
15 years,
QuickBooks.
right.
You know, like use it.
Yeah, 40 to 65 bucks a month, depending on what plan you need.
Yeah.
You don't need the
I don't
plan
even pay
above
that.
65.
I think $10 a month,
Look at that.
maybe.
There you go. You're
It's
not
like
accepting
QuickBooks
payments.
Self-Employed.
Yeah.
QuickBooks Self-Employed.
I think it's called QuickBooks Online or something like that. Something like that. That's a variation of it, but that's and as a DJ, that's really all you need, right?
You don't need
You're
anything
one
crazy.
client and you're just sending things out. If you're a DJ out there and you're working anything more than 3-4 times a month, you're insane if you're not on
Yeah.
QuickBooks, right? Maybe we sell a course on QuickBooks for DJs. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I think the biggest system that you have in place is your time management commitment system, in the sense that every day you look at what tomorrow looks like and you have these certain key points that you want to hit on: content, reaching out, following up, and you always, do that in a routine way, whether it's, Monday for invoicing, Tuesday, Wednesday for content, and so on and so on.
Yeah, but honestly, I definitely could be way better at that.
Sure.
Specifically with follow-ups. And I used to be really bad. I've gotten a lot better with it, but I was horrible with follow-ups. Like I've been pretty lucky when it comes to getting booked for certain things because for a long time, I didn't like reaching out and asking people.
Who does? Everybody hates asking for something.
Yeah.
Let's be
So
honest.
I would never. And if I asked once, twice, and I didn't get a response or whatever,
You're not getting a third.
Yeah, I'm not trying to chase people for stuff. If I really want something, then maybe I will. But for the most part, I'll just move on. And then
what I've seen is that works, because then you go get something else, and then they come back around and they're like, oh, you're playing over here now, and then they reach out, versus you having to be not desperate, but it does come off a little desperate if you reach out to the same person every week. 52 weeks in, you're like, dude, I've told you no 52 times, right? Or at this point, I probably told you no 12 and I ignored you 40 times.
Yeah.
And you're still not getting the point, right? And I think there's a difference between annoying and persistent.
Yeah. The funny thing is I do know a few DJs, a handful of DJs that from management, I've heard that they've given gigs to them because they're so annoying.
I've heard
because they're constantly hitting them up. And I do appreciate that, because they're going after it. They're not letting things just happen.
Right.
They're going after it. But for me, there's a certain point where I'm not trying to chase people for gigs.
It's not like the calendar's empty.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not struggling. And when I was struggling, I definitely should have done that.
You would have struggled less.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But that struggle also helps me appreciate where I'm at right now.
Yes.
And I was talking to somebody last night about it. I still remember the first time I filled up my gas tank without having to worry about what's in my bank account.
Nice. What a great feeling.
Dude, the most amazing feeling.
And from DJ.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you got like, I don't know, a bonus check from some side venture and then here's my gas. No.
Yeah.
It's DJ money, being able to supplement your day-to-day life.
Yeah, I mean, there was a point where, you know, I had a day job and I was DJing, and then I was comfortable then, and I had to make a decision.
Let's talk about that decision, because I think a lot of DJs go through that same process.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk through that process? You're at a day job. How does the thought come to mind? Did you like the day job and leaving was hard? Did you hate the day job and you just couldn't wait till DJing got you out of there? Like, what was that environment like at the time, and what made the switch possible?
My day job, I was a graphic designer and web designer / developer for a marketing company for about 8 years. And about 4 to 5 of those years, I was doing both.
Okay.
Where I was DJing about three, on average, 3 nights a week, and going to, you know, my 9 to 5 days a week.
Okay.
And luckily, my boss was an ex-DJ.
Nice. He understood the struggle.
So sometimes, you know, I would have gigs on Wednesday, and then like I would wake up late or something, and he knew. Luckily, I was in a position where he was okay with that.
Right. There was a little bit of an understanding on it.
Yeah, exactly. But I would obviously work my time and make sure that, you know, the projects were finished and whatnot. But there came a time where I had to make a decision. Like, I was literally like killing myself. Besides that, I was raising, you know, I had 2 kids.
Sheesh.
So
Full
I had
schedule.
that, you know, daytime, nighttime, all that
All
stuff.
the time with the kids.
Yeah. So it was very, very hard. So I had to make a decision, you know, for me mentally, do I go with, you know, the graphic design and that aspect, you know, the arts, or do I go with music? And
You're in a cool situation there, right? Because most DJs have like more of like an admin style job, right? Whatever that is. It's not a creative space.
yeah,
Where you came from a creative space, so at least you were getting that satisfaction of like your creativity was being fulfilled in a different way.
Yeah.
Right? Through creating graphics, not through creating or playing music.
Correct.
But there was still a little bit of that satisfaction, right? Where like I have a DJ on the roster that used to work at a dentist's office.
Oh, nice.
You know, front desk of the dentist's office. It was great pay. You know, they paid for his health insurance. It's like, you know, it was awesome. But like, can't wait to get the fuck out of that if you're dying to be creative, right? How many appointments can you schedule before you're like, I want tomorrow to be my last day scheduling appointments because I'm a creative. I'm not an admin. I'm not a robot, right? So at least you came from a place where the creativity was being fulfilled, which probably made the decision harder.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely a lot harder, because I do love art and I love creating art, and you know, I did horrible jobs. Like, I had so many crap jobs over the years that, you know, there came a time where I needed to change something about my life to lead a better life.
Yes.
And like,
now
when I
for
was
2 other
younger,
people.
I was a real piece of shit.
Yeah.
I was not a good person. I didn't care about anybody else but myself. I was a very self-centered person. Like, all my friends, like, I did stupid stuff. I went to jail quite a few times and just did really dumb things because I just cared about me.
Yep.
And there came a time where I needed to change that, you know? And I think the real like changing point, it had been leading up to this when my son was born.
Sure.
You know, I had to make a decision.
You got 2 kids, both boys?
I had 4 kids.
Okay, 2 at the time. Were those boys?
Nope, a boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl, sweet.
Yeah. You know, I was in the process of kind of like reevaluating how I was. I didn't have a very good upbringing, childhood, teenage years. You know, I had 0 direction. My father was not a good father. He was a good friend.
Okay.
You know, and honestly, I didn't really realize that until probably 5 years ago.
I had the same conversation with somebody where you almost you resent the fact that you were a friend. Where most parents think like, they'll thank me later, I wasn't a hard parent. But no, as a kid, you don't know it at the time, but then you grow up and you're like, man, I needed a little more structure that
Correct.
you were supposed to give me.
Structure is
Yes.
the key word in that
Yes.
in that sentence. Is you have to have structure.
Yep.
And at a young age, you know, that's your foundation, just like when you build a house. Yeah, I'm sure people have heard that metaphor
Yep.
over and over and over
The
again.
walls crumble. Oh, what's that?
Exactly. So, you know, it's the truth though. you have to have a good foundation. And I didn't. I had a horrible foundation for multiple things in my life. So I had to break out of that,
Yep.
you know? And when my son was born, I had to figure out how to become a better person for him, you know? And then years down the road, I started to think to myself, I need to become a better person for me,
yes.
which ultimately will make it better for him,
right,
and make it better for my kids. And the whole 1%, I just kept getting better and better and better and better. I made lots of mistakes over the years, lots and lots of mistakes, stupid mistakes that happen.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Yep.
It's the past. I can't change it. I can only move forward in a positive way. I started changing the way I was as a person, just so I could be better for my kids.
Did that make you a better DJ?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I never really thought about it that way, but, you know, I think trying to be different and trying to stay out of the comfort zone is what has always made me be a better DJ.
You messed up my line because I was going to say, you know, it made you uncomfortable, which then by default kept you away from your comfort zone, which you had already identified, you know, as something that was not good for you, right? It was a lesson that you learned, and apparently had happened even, you know, before that, you know, in the life trajectory leading up to it.
Yes.
So that's super cool, man. And I didn't know half of the, you know, stories that you just, you know, shared in that sense. So
it's
even more.
Way more.
And that's just the top of it, you know. But that's incredible to point out where, like, you know, somebody out there that might have a little stronger of a foundation or the upbringing or these factors, you got a head start in the race, right? Like if you're at where you're at in this journey, right, and you started where you started, then someone that started on first base already has no excuse.
Yeah.
Someone that's not DJing 36 hours in 3 days has no excuse.
Yeah.
So to those people out there, those people being, let's say, starting off DJs, what would you say, what's like some words of advice for that person looking to enter the DJ industry?
Have patience.
Patience is a big one, and not enough people point it out.
Yeah,
You know
have patience. Like you can't expect to get big gigs right away.
And
like,
nothing happens overnight.
Look, like you're gonna have to wait. It's gonna take time, and a lot of the times you don't want to have that big opportunity before you're ready.
You shit the bed, and then it never comes your way again.
And you know, hopefully it does. Like, luckily, you know, I've squandered chances and I've excelled in chances. You know, but you got to put yourself out there to get those chances. You know what I'm saying? But also, you gotta have patience.
Yeah,
you gotta
don't be eager
do it the right way.
to show up to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you're not practicing 5 days a week, then don't even worry about what Sunday looks like, right?
Yeah.
Like it's got to be right time, right place, right energy, and then something will come out of it.
Yeah.
I think DJs have the perception or like this motion in their mind from before, in the sense of like, I'm not growing if I'm not headlining EDC or like, right? And then they forget like this whole trajectory, how to actually get there, right? And the work that needs to get put in to even be considered or to be acknowledged on that level, right? And not enough people are talking about this. We're just seeing the Boiler Room sets on YouTube. We're seeing John Summit's next track. We're seeing Dom Dollar on Instagram. And so everybody out there is just looking at that. You know, you were looking at DJ Icey, how clean he was, transitions. Now we're looking at DJs and we're like, yeah, his set was terrible, but like, when is he playing in Miami again? And it's just because it's cool.
Yes.
And you want to be in the know, in the room that everybody wants to be in.
And that's kind of goes with the next thing I was going to say is don't do it for the wrong reasons.
Oh, that's important.
You know, I love music. So no matter where I'm playing and what I'm doing, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. You know, I'm not doing it to be cool.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not.
You're doing it because you find it cool.
You don't see me wearing $400 t-shirts.
Yes.
And, you know, like I buy my stuff at Target.
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care about that persona. I care about the music, and I want people to have a good time. When they enter that room, I want them to forget about everything that's outside of that room. I want them to come in, enjoy themselves, and that's it.
You're providing an experience at the end of the day. No different than any staff member in that room.
Yeah.
From the
100%.
bouncer treating you with respect, to the doorman acknowledging you when you were outside, to the server, being attentive to your table and bringing your product out, as soon as possible, to everything else, to the bathroom attendant, having a smile, and just all of that goes into this overall experience.
Yeah.
And I don't think music is looked at. I mean, music is, but then venues sometimes neglect the DJ as part of that. Right?
Yeah.
Where you're not part of the team, you're some guy playing music and we're the team. And no, like, if the drink by the bartender tasted like shit and the song that the DJ's playing is shit, you're both at fault because the experience got hindered because of it.
Correct.
And I think more and more DJs need to be conscious of that so that they're actually held responsible for it in the right way.
Yeah.
Not in the wrong way.
Accountability.
Accountability is a huge one.
Great word. Well, I've seen so many people come and go because they're in it, because it's cool. They want chicks, whatever, like status.
Yes.
Don't do it for that.
3 years ago, I feel like the people trying to be cool were getting opportunities because of it. The fake followers on Instagram, the $400, Balenciaga shirt, the XYZ, right? We all see the tricks and ponies. Do you feel like today's market's a little more difficult for those people? For those type of DJs?
I think those people come and go real quick.
Okay.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Whether it's that, people that are doing it not for the music, they're gonna come and go. They're not outlasting anybody. Like Afrojack, Tiesto, when he's been popular for 30 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
And yeah, you might see him now and, he's a big deal, but he's also an older man. He's been doing it a long time. He does it a lot. And, he comes in, he does his thing and he leaves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not there hanging out. He's there, doing his job.
But I'm sure he's still in the studio working like it's day one because he loves the music.
He loves music.
Correct.
For sure.
Correct.
There's no way he's lasted this long if he did it just to be cool.
He's got enough money to be cool without the music.
Exactly.
So now that means if you're still doing it, it's because the music's keeping
anybody that's been at that level for 10 plus years is for sure in it for the music because they love music.
I also feel like you'll never get great at something if you don't love it.
Correct.
Right? And so you don't become Tiesto by mistake.
Yeah.
If you became Tiesto, something got you there. And then if you're still Tiesto 30 years later, something's keeping you there.
Yeah.
And most of the time that's passion or love for what you're doing.
Yeah. And we can bring up John Summit because he's the latest, big superstar that just rose up. But watch him DJ. He loves
what he does.
Loves what he does. He loves the music. He feels it. He loves it.
Which then by default, the consumer feels it.
Correct.
And that's my next topic where I was talking about energy. But before that, Fisher and Mochak are two guys that always get brought up because, Obi mentioned, he's like I've played with, Obi and his voice. I've played with Fisher, man, and he makes me want to dance.
Yes.
It's like I'm standing next to him and I'm grooving and I'm like, before I know it, I'm in the zone here and it's like, he did that. It's the energy he gives off. So transitioning into energy, I've been having this conversation lately. It's basically laptop USB combo, right? Not necessarily what's better or worse or why, because at the end of the day, I'm not a DJ and I wouldn't be able to have that conversation with you. I can listen if you want to say anything about it, but outside of that, I'm screwed. But I do know about energy and what dance floors give off, right? Yeah. And as management of venues, as, these type of roles, that's what you look like for, right? Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily like, is he the best scratcher? How clean is he? It's, did the crowd react well to it? And was there an energy exchange that ultimately gave the ultimate experience in the room?
Yeah.
I'm finding it difficult to deliver that energy exchange if you're playing on a laptop, and even more so if the laptop's in front of you. What's your take on that? And what have you seen as far as maybe some of the changes in rooms, right? Where 7 years ago, everybody had a laptop in front of them.
Yes.
And today I don't see it as much as I did.
Yeah.
What is that transition? What's your take on the energy exchange from it? And maybe why do you think this transition is happening?
I think ultimately it's dependent on the person that's DJing.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of people that use laptops that could have great energy and they give off that energy to the consumer. And there's people that play off flash drives that have horrible energy.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's dependent on that. When you're looking at a laptop in front of you, it keeps you from seeing the crowd, which, you know, is an obstacle for sure. But ultimately, programming, the songs you play and when you play them, is the most important thing. You know, it like you can like stick your head in the laptop for the entire night for a 4-hour, gig. And as long as you play the right songs at the right times, most of those people don't care. They don't care that you're looking into that laptop, you know, at a normal open format club.
Okay.
You know, when you're at a festival or a big room and people are just looking at you, you need to look at them.
Yes.
I have a hard time with that. I have stage fright.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're just a performer in a top 10 nightclub in the world.
Yeah, no big deal.
Why not?
But ultimately, like, I still get nervous.
Okay.
I get nervous.
Stop staring at me.
Like, because I've always been very socially awkward. I've had to I've changed myself over the years because I needed to. I know I needed to do better.
And I'm sure that whole process was very comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Super comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, one of my friends, he did like the pickup artist stuff.
Okay.
And basically he told me to go to a grocery store and just start talking to random people. Whether it's, you know, asking a random person where an item is instead of asking
someone that
an
works
employee.
there. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to ask an employee because it's their job to tell you where something is. But I would clam up, you know. I still remember when I was younger, I couldn't buy stuff from a convenience store because I couldn't talk to the cashier. I would get very nervous.
Yeah, locked up
anxiety.
Almost.
Yes, so much anxiety. So, you know, over the years I had to break out of that because as a DJ, you have to connect with the crowd. You have to be a part of it. You have to look at people. You know what I'm saying?
How come DJs, I had this conversation with someone, and I don't remember who it was. Why are DJs typically introverts, right?
Most creatives are.
Okay.
In general.
Okay.
It's the part of your brain that you use when you're a creative person.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there are creatives that are extroverts, but most creatives are introverts.
That's interesting.
From what I've seen over the years. You know, obviously there's gonna be people that are exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, that's just how it goes. Most creative people are horrible salesmen.
Sure.
They can't sell themselves for shit. I can't. I hate selling myself. I'm so bad at it.
I'm great. Trust me.
Yeah. It's like, I'm all right.
It's all right.
You know?
What's your rate? All right, I'll take $100 less.
People think that I'm humble, and I am humble about it, but it's just, I see the level that I want to be at, and I'm not there.
Right.
So I think I'm okay.
In your head, yeah, absolutely.
You know
But
what I'm
someone
saying?
from the outside looking in might see certain attributes and be like, man, this guy's up there.
Exactly.
But you don't see that for yourself because of your
Exactly.
Perfectionist approach and
Yeah.
and always wanting to be 1% better, which means that yesterday wasn't good enough because tomorrow you need to be 1% better.
Correct.
So if you look at it like that, you're in a vicious cycle of always improving, which is obviously a good thing,
Yeah.
right?
But you can't let it control you in a negative way. You have to
Right.
let it control you in a positive way.
Right.
And one of the things that I did when I was younger, it's a small thing, but has a big impact. I would constantly look down when I was walking.
Okay.
I wouldn't look at people.
Okay. Is it because you didn't want to trip on something, or is it because you didn't want to make eye contact?
Originally I thought it was that.
All right.
I was like, oh, I'm just watching where I'm going.
Yeah.
No, it's because
I fell on my face when I was younger.
I would have a big problem with looking at people.
Okay.
Even if they weren't looking at me, I would get very anxious about it.
Have you ever locked eyes with somebody for 45 minutes?
45, no.
It's insane. So there was a leadership class that I had to take. It was like an elective. Guy was batshit crazy, some Italian professor, right? But like really out there type of guy. And like, you know, the first hour of the first day in class, he had us all meditate, you know, just close your eyes. And we're like, the fuck, this is great. I don't even have to fall asleep in this class. He's asking me to. This is great, you know? And one of the exercises was, all right, pair up, make sure you don't know the other person. Okay, well, I didn't know anybody anyway. I'm the old guy in the class, right? So everybody else is 19, 20, looking at the easy elective, right? All right, so I pair up with this. She was young, but mother of two, like a little more mature than maybe some of the other people that were in the class. And you just stand line to line and you're staring into each other's soul, essentially. Like we might look for 30 seconds and it might feel like a day.
It's
45 minutes is insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
There were kids that broke down crying. Like you can sense like someone's like hurt in their eyes.
Yeah.
And like, so at the end of the 45 minutes, then he's like, what did you learn about her? We didn't say one fucking word.
That's so crazy.
You know what I mean? And then like, you'd have to give like a little assumption. And I mean, body language is a form of communication, right? Your eyes communicate what you're feeling at the end of the day, unless you practice really well at masking things, and that's a whole other world. But you know, you had one guy like, I don't know why, but I felt like he was sad. I'm like, well, you know, are you sad? You know, my grandfather passed away 4 or 5 days ago and I'm not over it.
Yeah.
You know, like, cause we're just staring. So, I mean, it's 45 minutes is long enough where you can't mask what's inside.
Yeah, I love it. I love that.
And then the same concept comes from stare at yourself in a mirror for 45 minutes and you might learn something about yourself that you do not know. Yeah. And I brought this up because of your perceived, like, you know, I don't know how to sell myself.
Yeah.
Stare at yourself for 45 minutes. At the end of that, you might be like, damn, I've come a long way. Like, that's not the same fucker I used to stare at, you know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you know, I'm a completely different human.
I definitely am. But the whole point of the looking down thing was I forced myself to look up. And
break
then
out of it.
From there, I started just saying hi to people.
Okay.
Smiling at them, you know, and you know, I
built up the courage to.
Yeah. So like now I jog outside. I love to jog outside. I don't like, I treadmills are cool, whatever. But
boring
I enjoy jogging outside.
Me
and
too.
I'm lucky enough to live in a neighborhood where a lot of people go out and walk and
walk
you
the
know,
dog.
very family oriented. Yeah, dogs, walking the kids and stuff like that. So I pass by everybody I pass by. I look at them and I say hello, say good evening, whatever, you know.
Did you break these before or after reading Atomic Habits?
Before.
No shit. Okay. Yeah. So then you read it and you got even more of a foundation on it. And then you're like, oh, wait, I'm on to something.
Yeah. So, you know, I started doing that probably, I don't know, like 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
It was a while ago, you know, and over time I've gotten better and better and better. But, you know, it's a small thing that you don't really think about, but.
Until you do.
Yeah.
And then you can't stop thinking about it.
You know, and I always thought, oh, I just don't want to step on the cracks or.
You're the weird guy that doesn't stop on the lines, you know?
Break my mother's back.
Yeah.
But, you know, ultimately it was because I had anxiety about other people. And, you know, in the long run, everybody in the world's just trying to live, just trying to be happy.
Coexist with each other at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. Every time I see one of those bumper stickers, I'm like, yeah. That's
yes.
We need more of that. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of negativity thrown around, you know, with social media and news and whatever. But ultimately, I think more than 95% of people are generally happy. They're generally positive people. They have negative things that happen to them.
Correct.
But generally, most people are very happy or living in a positive way. And then, you know, those 5% of negative people, unfortunately,
dwell on the other 95%.
It's like a virus.
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes.
Yes,
and,
yes.
You know, it's very unfortunate.
Have you ever found yourself in a room and you look around and you're like, oh shit, the whole 5% is in this room with me. I need to get the fuck out of here.
Every time I get in a room and DJs. No, I'm just kidding. No, most of us are very, very good people.
Yes.
You know, we're pretty happy in general because we play music for a living.
You're doing what you love, and at the end of the day,
you can't
be
happy about that.
Correct.
I mean, you know, we live a pretty amazing life.
If you don't, it's because of you.
Yes.
And there's things that you have to, get out of your comfort zone and change, and you'll be living a little better tomorrow, maybe 1%, maybe more, depending on where we're at. So on the topic of music, I do want to dive into your project as far as Mr. Gray, the producer.
Yes.
And I want to speak about, I know you mentioned kind of like making music that you want to make in whatever lane that may be. Mm-hmm. But what's the lane today that Mr. Gray's making music on? What is your sound like, more or less? I was gonna say look like, but I don't think a sound looks like anything.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you look at a waveform, it does.
I guess. What does your sound look like? Like this?
A bunch of squiggly lines. Yeah, ultimately, I don't have a specific sound.
Okay.
So my goal is to just make music. Tomorrow I might make a country record.
Okay.
The next day I might make a classical record. I love it all.
What's the goal?
I don't want to be constrained. The goal is to make music to resonate with people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of my songs that are going to be coming out over the next, however many years, they're going to have lyrics. A lot of music that I've made in the past has been very, house oriented.
Okay.
Not a lot of like real lyrics. It's just been basic music. You know what I'm saying? Which I do enjoy listening to as well. But I want to make a record that's timeless. Ultimately, I want to make a timeless record. Something that 50 years from now, people will listen to it and still enjoy it. And, I want to dig deep into people and grab whatever feelings they have and pull them out.
Love that.
Get the goosebumps.
Hell yeah. Yeah, feel alive.
Yeah. And I've been saying that for a few years, and then I watched that Avicii
the documentary
on Netflix, and that's exactly what he wanted. And I'm like, dude, that's what I want to do.
What do you say? What have you seen, right? Being in some of these nightclubs locally as well as nationwide, what's the sound right now that's working the most?
Honestly, like 2010 to 2014 dance music is being revamped and redone. I think
I agree with you
because
and I've gotten this from numerous people.
The people that were 13 to 18 years old are now going out on a regular basis, and it's nostalgic to them now. So that happens regularly where music gets recycled.
Okay.
Like all the stuff, I could say it stems from, Craze and his, hit record that kind of spawned R&B being remixed into house music. Mm-hmm. And then from there, you had your Latin tech house that, kind of blew up for a little bit. And then you had your Afro house, which is pretty big still.
Yep.
But it's very, very saturated. But in a club setting, most Afro house isn't energetic enough.
Right, it won't work.
You know what I'm saying? It's very specific to
especially not midnight.
Crowd. Yeah, it's definitely not happening. So the sing-along stuff that people can relate to, just all that, the nostalgia and the feelings and stuff like that. Like, very rarely do I play new rap music. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty much out the window.
Why does it suck today?
I wouldn't say that it sucks.
Why is it inferior to older rap music? And is it because we're the old guys in the room? Or,
it's not fun.
Or is it really inferior?
No, it's not fun.
It's not fun.
There are, Nokia is a big record.
Okay.
It's a huge record right now. It's a fun song.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a fun song.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
It's relatable.
It's fun.
Okay.
That's why, if you hear me play a rap set, it's going to be only fun songs. I'm not playing Young Dolph.
Okay.
I'm not playing,
I am at the gym.
Doug. At
the gym, you could get a little ratchet in my headphones, right?
But also at the same time, there's records that are made specifically to play on the radio and to listen to in your car.
Right.
Not in the club.
Right.
Like, I get songs sent to me by artists, and I'm like, there's no way I'm playing this in the club. It's like, it's
no
gonna put
different
everybody to sleep.
Than if I was gonna have a relaxful Sunday by the pool. You'll probably catch me with a whole lot of Afro house.
Yeah.
But not at the club.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a time and a place for all that stuff.
So if we're talking nostalgic feelings, which we did, What's the 13 to 18-year-old today listening to 10 years from now in the club?
10 years from now?
Because what we're listening to today is
Hopefully it's
2010 to
not.
2012.
Yeah.
So what's 2035 look like? Are they playing stuff from
I
2025?
mean, honestly, I think stuff like John Summit's Where You Are,
Okay.
it'll die down and then it'll pick back up.
Okay.
Because that'll be nostalgic.
Come back some type of remix or some type
Yeah,
of something
of course.
to those type of hits. Now,
And even like the Taylor Swifts, she's still coming out with records, and maybe Messy.
Okay.
You know, that's a big record right now.
Yeah.
And it might fall off in 6 months and then resurface 6 years from now.
Right.
10 years from now.
Right. That's how it happens every time. Nelly's still getting booked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
He's also a great performer.
great performer, but he's got Hot in Here.
Yeah.
And that's it. Burn.
No.
You know, everyone recognizes it.
Yeah, but I'm
not saying that's his only hit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying like that's all he needs, right?
Yes.
You're at a club and you hear that and you're like, oh shit. Like,
You're
I don't
like,
care.
when you see him perform, you're surprised at how many hit records that he has on or has himself.
Yes.
Yeah, it's surprising.
I love the tributes, like Scott Storch, and you're like, bro, I forgot he's on all these records.
He made
it's
so
like
many big
bangers.
records.
It's crazy. I remember him in Privé days. Going ham, dude. All right, so I want to transition into a little bit of the industry.
Yeah.
Nightlife industry, entertainment industry, in your case, music industry. And in your opinion, what are some challenges that this industry is facing today?
Economy.
Okay.
Economy is not what it used to be.
Okay.
And I hope it gets back to where it was, pre-COVID or even like once things opened back up,
right?
Like people were able to spend money again.
Spend the stimulus check that they were getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, I actually had a conversation with one of the managers at Elleven, and he said that the amount of money that people spend on alcohol in general, not just at the club, has declined from 25 billion to about 2.5 billion.
Sheesh. That's a big jump.
Huge.
And how long has this process been?
So now you have, marijuana's legal.
Right.
You have, THC drinks.
Yep.
You have all these different ways to,
stimulate
relieve
yourself.
stress.
Sure.
Which is ultimately what
Look at
that
these
is.
coffee jams during the day, right? No alcohol. You're just sipping coffee and having whatever pastries.
But also, like the younger generation is more in tune with health.
Right.
And
I think that's a
alcohol
big
is
piece.
horrible for you.
I think
you're
that's a
literally
big
killing
piece.
yourself.
Yes.
Every time you drink.
It's exactly why before you knew 10 people in a room, 9 smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
Now there's 10 people in a room, maybe 1.
Yeah.
Because it's health consciousness of it.
Yeah. I don't think it'll get to the point where like that cigarettes have, but it's definitely detrimental to nightclubs.
Right.
Festivals don't have to worry about that because
they're selling tickets.
Most of them aren't drinking.
Right. They're selling tickets.
Yeah.
And the water's selling no matter what.
Correct.
So you're okay, especially when they're $12 a pop. Is there another challenge that comes to mind?
Identity for venues becomes an issue.
This is interesting.
Live actually is the best with that. They have their Thursday Latin party. Friday is more of an open format. Saturday is EDM, house, and then Sunday is hip hop.
Right.
That's what you get. You don't cater to, table fucking 32 that spent $50,000. Oh, it's
nope. You should come
Latin
tomorrow
night.
and spend
Can you
$50,000.
play
Right.
XYZ
non-Latin song.
No, this is what we're doing. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I think, a lot of venues try to appeal to such a wide variety of people that, they lose an identity.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree big time. And I've asked this question in many different type of ways, and I don't think I've heard that answer before. And I do believe it. Our first Rock Talk as a group, we spoke about how venues are not doing their part on setting the identity through their marketing.
Yes.
Right? Where a guest shows up and they're going to the DJ and they're requesting, for example, we have a client that we just want house music, remixes, you play there.
Yeah.
And then someone comes up and they're like, hey, can you play reggae? Then if someone asks that, that means they have no idea where they're at.
Correct.
Like this venue has never put out anything reggae, but like, why would they assume that that's something that would be played here? And I feel like venues need to do a better job on their identity through their marketing, right?
100%.
Sometimes there's a disconnect between the marketing team, the operation team, the accounting team. And like, for example, the marketing team's working out of the office Monday through Friday, and the venue doesn't want a predominant Latin identity. They want to stay a little more top 40 dancing. They don't want Latin.
Yeah.
But the marketing team never really gets that message. And so all the reels that they're posting with recaps have Bad Bunny on it. Well, now people looking at the Instagram obviously assume that this venue plays Latin.
Yes.
And then they show up and they ask for Bad Bunny, and the DJ's like, no, we don't play Bad Bunny. And now it's the DJ's fault. He sucks. So the venues, I think, need to like figure out a little accountability on their end where what they're promoting and what they're marketing makes sense as a complete package.
Yeah.
Right? This goes with what you're doing with marketing. This goes with what are your playlists playing before the DJ gets on, right? Like a restaurant that doesn't want Latin played at night, but the manager during the day has, you know, Maluma radio on. Well, then when the DJ gets on, the people that are there are, you know, looking at the DJ like he's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I've been listening to Maluma and Bad Bunny for 4 hours. What do you mean you can't play any Latin?
Yes.
Right? And now again, it's the DJ's fault.
Yeah. That's a problem. That is a huge problem. Really.
It's something that's out of our control, right?
Yes.
And our
Ultimately
control
it is.
as a DJ, right?
Yes.
Obviously, I'm not a DJ, but it's not the DJ's doing, and then the DJ's the one in the forefront that has to deal with the consumer, right? And now you're not even able to DJ because you're so on preventive mode where like you're almost a hostess at the venue. Like you're answering questions and you're turning down guests, and like now people are like leaving comments, the DJ tonight sucked. No, he was actually amazing. He just sucked for you because he didn't play that one request you wanted of polka music. Like, I'm sorry, we don't do polka music here, you know, or whatever example you want to throw out there. So I'm so happy you said identity.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been able to have this conversation before.
Yeah, like, you know, my friend Alex Dreams, he owns a club in California called the Yost Theater.
Yeah, San Diego, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, they have very specific parties.
Yes.
And I think that's what you need.
Yes.
You need to have that. You need to have, hey, we're having this party. And when that customer comes into the venue, they know what they're getting themselves into. And with Thursday nights at Elleven, I have a very specific formula. I do play an open format set, but I know what crowd's going to be there early, what crowd's going to be there in the middle,
right,
and what crowd's going to be there late. So I set everything up to be like that every week. That way they know what they're getting themselves into. You know, early we have an older crowd, so I play a lot of top 40, a lot of older stuff to make sure that they're happy.
And you keep them there as long as you can.
Correct.
So that it then blends with that middle crowd as early as possible.
Yeah, the middle crowd is going to be younger. They're going to, because they stay out later. The older crowd kind of goes home around 1, sometimes 2 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And then the later crowd, for us, is Latin.
Okay.
So I play a lot of
which I'm
Latin
assuming
house,
is because people come from
reggaeton,
Live.
And correct.
It's the Live after party
Thursday,
or whatever the case may be.
They come over. So I cater to them. I still get in some house, I still get in some hip hop and stuff like that, but it's predominantly Latin music. Because most people nowadays do enjoy various genres of music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
even if they're not listening to it in their car on the way to work, when they're out, they do appreciate hearing, well-roundedness of a sound.
Yeah.
Especially the older clientele.
Yeah.
Where they'll recognize a Pitbull song and then they don't know what Clooney track is playing, but you know, it's groovy and they like it. And then you throw in something else that they recognize and now it's like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's still appealing to the young person standing next to them because they also can, you know, kind of resonate to it.
Yeah.
I think one of the challenges that gets brought up often, I want to get your take on it, is most people assume social media was a net positive for the industry because you're able to promote so much easier now. But like anything, when something's easier, more and more people do it, right? No different than DJing today. More and more people think it's cool, and then the barrier of entry is less resistant, so more and more people actually get into it versus wanting to get into it.
Yeah.
I feel like social media killed the purpose of going out. And I'll explain what I mean. Not the going out to a nightclub specifically, right? getting together with 4 of your friends, going to Flanagan's, watching a football game, that's priceless. You'll never be able to really substitute that with social media. Again, because of the experience. But if I'm looking at like the pinnacle of nightlife to my time, I know that this is not the right answer for everyone. Mansion nightclub to me was like when this started to happen. From my eyes, from me looking at it, right? Live opened in 2008, 2009. You know, Mansion was still Mansion 360. And then sometime 2011, we started, you know, leveling out. And then at some point, we came down.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was people would go to Mansion, let's say. And you know, even more than social media, I think it's dating apps. But we'll get there. So, you know, I worked there, so it wouldn't be me. But let's say I didn't work at Mansion. I'd get 4 or 5 of my boys together. We'd say, let's throw $500 each, right? Let's go get a 3K minimum table, which back then got you a pretty decent table going towards the front. And we got, you know, the table. So we got real estate. We got something to call our own.
Yeah.
Okay, we have somewhere to invite people to. Okay, so that's checkbox number 1. Now checkbox number 2 was the flex. The bottles, the sparklers. You know, back then, there wasn't even really signs. If there was a sign, they made it. It wasn't like an LED sign. And so now, you know, the DJ would play the French national anthem and you and your 4 French boys are on the couch going crazy and you got, you know, $3,000 worth of liquor going to your table from the furthest part of the venue on purpose so that everyone saw it, right? And so then by default, the girls in the room would say, well, I don't want to buy my next $18 drink. Yes, at the time they were 18. Now I know they're probably 40. Let me go mingle with that guy and he's kind of cute. He's kind of cute, right? Yeah. Let's go stand by there and see if they invite us to the table. And then essentially the guys on the table were swiping left or right, right?
Yeah.
Left. I don't, keep going. Security, get her away from my table. She's drunk and annoying. Double left, block, right? You don't want her on Tinder anymore. But swipe right, ooh. You know, and then it was now you welcome them into your real estate, into your community, into your ecosystem. And you were able to network, you were able to connect with people in real life. Yeah. Well, social media gave the ability to do that digitally. And I don't have to spend $2,000 now. I can just go get a fake $400 shirt and go rent a Lamborghini and I can take 96 different pictures in front of it, go give it back, and then post on my Tinder a picture of me with my dog, soft side. Oh yeah. Picture of me in the car, big dick energy. Picture of me in the shirt, such good fashion taste, right? And then all I gotta do is fool you for 4 hours at dinner, get what I want, and then why would I go to the nightclub? There's no point. I mean,
there's definitely that.
Right? So like, I think there's a necessity for nightclubs to figure out how to go back to providing the experience that it provided because people liked it, people wanted it, but the industry has not found a way to duplicate that experience once social media came out, right? And I don't know if it's a no phone rule, right? Because that's the other thing. I was talking to Obi about this and he brought up a picture of Rock Bar. Mm-hmm. Not one person in the room was on their phone. So by default, you had to talk to each other or you were gonna look insane, just everyone like looking in the room at each other, not talking. Yeah. So by default, you would gravitate to communicating to the person next to you, complimenting their, you know, dress or shirt. And you would leave with a couple new friends, maybe a phone number here and there, and there was something to relate to. Yeah. I don't know what the answer is to
honestly, that is a great way to go about it.
What can venues do? Yeah, is it that?
It's not gonna, that'll never happen.
And does the consumer want it so bad where like they also want no phones? I'll give you what I mean by that.
I think some people do.
I think more than most people, even if they themselves know it or don't know it. And I'll give you the example. I went to go see short comedian. He's on every commercial. Kevin Hart at Kaseya Center. Oh yeah, great show. I had no idea. It was my first big comedy show. You walk in and they give you this plastic fucking bag with a lock on it. They're like, your phone? And I'm like, my phone? Eat a dick. You're not touching my phone. You're like, you're not coming in. You have to put your phone in here. Well, how do I check it? I'm like, well, you can't. You have to go to the designated phone area. Then they unlock it. You can check your phone there, but they don't let you leave the area until you put it back in the bag and seal it. So now if I'm in my, chair watching Kevin Hart, I can no longer check my phone. Obviously, they do it so I don't record the whole thing and put it on my YouTube tomorrow and then fuck the whole Netflix special up, right? But it also made me enjoy the show.
Yes.
Because mentally I wasn't thinking about my Instagram or my emails or I'm like playing this stupid game now, Farmland or whatever the hell it's called. I'm like, have my chicken, giving eggs yet or not? It's like my airplane's booming. Like, how do I get more cargo to land? And like all these thoughts are going in. And as a human, you have so much bandwidth that the bandwidth wears out. And now you're like almost like, oh yeah, I'm also here watching Kevin Hart. Yeah. Babe, this isn't that funny. You want to go? And it's like, well, you haven't heard fucking 20 minutes of jokes. No shit, it's not funny.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the consumer out there would be against leaving their phone in a secure manner that also allows them to access it in a designated area. And then it almost becomes the new smoking area where you do communicate with other smokers, right? Yeah. So if I'm addicted to my phone, I'm just going to hang out in the phone lounge. Well, guess what? Tammy sitting next to me, also on her phone, we're probably going to end up being friends because we're both addicted to our phones. So we're going to end up into some type of conversation or at bare minimum, I might follow you on Instagram before I leave. But now everybody else that's in the main room can maybe go back to doing this thing that we used to do, socializing. It'd be amazing if people wanted to meet people in real life and not just on digital software.
Honestly, I think that would be a great idea for like one of the bigger nightclubs.
Right. Somewhere where it's dancing.
Just one night. Try it out. Let everybody know, like 2 months, like market it for 2 months straight.
Yes. I bet you people go because of it.
Yes.
Like, okay, now I know everyone in the room is going to be good. And here's the other thing. Obi brought it up. I had never thought about it. If I'm a celebrity, why the fuck would I want to go to a room where there's 2,000 phones recording me at every minute, every day?
Correct.
I can no longer have fun. I can no longer even, have one drink too many. Like, I have to be super aware that I'm conscious on anything. Like, as a celebrity, as an athlete, as you're going out to get away from that, right? And Obi would bring up, like, you get walked into the venue a certain way, and like he'd have like, I forgot the comparison he had, but he's like, I had young Jeezy and Marilyn Manson having a conversation in front of me. Like it was just chilling. Yeah. No phones in their face, no paparazzi writing, lip reading what they were talking about. Like, and if you zoom in on that, like these are goosebumps because like, I don't know where the hell to get that experience nowadays. And I'm someone that grew up.
Comedy shows. That's really it right now, honestly.
And then it's dark and quiet during the show, so you still can't fucking talk. It's like, bro, where can I have a conversation with someone? So, I've gotten into cigars lately. Okay. You go to a cigar bar, you're not going to see many ladies. But the guy next to you is going to drop a comment in real life. So, you come here often? Yeah, almost twice a week. How about you? First time here, I really like the place. Before you know it, you know what the guy does. You got into a conversation. You spoke about 3 or 4 mutual values you have. You might leave with an opportunity.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit, this guy just offered me a project. Like, yeah, I would love to do this. I'm so glad I met this guy. That's what nightclubs used to be.
Yeah.
And I would love to find a way to go back.
Well, Elleven, if you're watching.
No phones. No, leave all the phones in the DJ booth. Mr. Gray will keep a tracking and we'll be all right.
That's right.
I'm kidding. Please don't do that. All right, so we spoke about the challenges. I want to now transition into something a little more positive. You can't say music.
Okay.
What do you love about this industry?
This industry?
Yeah, like what? Like you as a DJ, what do you love about it? Can't say music.
I'd have to say community.
Okay.
Ultimately, we do have a good, solid in the biz community.
Okay.
It varies from venue to venue and from person to person, but we're all in it for the same reasons. You know what I'm saying? Making money, having a good time, stuff like that. So there is a good community in the biz, in the nightlife industry.
Love that.
It gets lost sometimes from here to, from time to time. And I think ultimately most people enjoy working next to the people that they work next to.
I agree. I agree big time on that. And it's like everybody could be doing something else. We're choosing to be in this industry because we like it.
Yeah.
And we enjoy it. And it makes us feel some type of way, whatever that way may be, in any type of good way. Do you feel like South Florida doesn't do enough of a job supporting each other?
I'll give you an example.
Okay, before the example, I'll let me give you where the question comes from.
Yes.
So I moved to Vegas for 3 years, 2014 to 2017-ish, maybe 13 to 16. Those 3 years there where I went crazy, I went to the West Coast. Vegas was so special, dude. Every nightclub out there competed at 9 p.m. Like at 9 p.m., gloves off, fuck you. At 9 a.m., like everyone was best friends.
Yeah.
If Omnia was closed on Wednesdays and the bank was open and that was their industry night, Omnia, the whole staff would go to support the bank. And they'd get an industry table and they'd bring out a sign, go check out Omnia tomorrow, Calvin Harris, right? Like you would ask yourself, why the hell would you do that? Because everyone in your club is now gonna spend money at your competition's place tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then you say, was everyone in this club actually gonna come back tomorrow to the same club? Probably not. Well, now on Thursday night, where the bank is closed and they're going to Omnia, they're getting that same exposure. And now the client that's there on Thursday is like, well, Friday, let me go to the bank, right? Or it was one city operating together to give an experience to a guest that ultimately would have them coming back.
Yeah.
Now, Vegas is a whole other conversation, and I feel like they've done some things incorrectly in the last 5 years or so that has maybe transitioned some of this out of it. But I've never felt that in Miami, in South Florida particularly, but Miami even more so. How can we maybe support, or like, I guess let's start with why don't we support each other? And then maybe transition into like, what could we be doing to support with each other that isn't just going to each other's gigs? Because like most of the time, if you're going to your boy's gig, it's almost with a 1% reason of like getting booked there.
Yeah.
It's not to go support your boy at the gig. It's to meet the manager because your boy's really cool with him.
Yeah.
So like, why are we here as an industry? Why are we here? Like, why does it feel like this in South Florida?
Well, I think that South Florida in general has a hard time with like coming together and supporting people. Like, look at the sports teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We only support them when they're good.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. But I think there's maybe a disconnect with, you know, where people just want for themselves. You know, like they don't want the person next to them to win. You know, we can all hang out and stuff. And there are a lot of people that in the industry that hang out outside of work.
Right.
But, you know, there's a place that I play at in Chicago, the Sunday nights, like in the Biz. It's geared more towards Latin music, but literally the guy Mauricio who throws the party knows everybody in the city. And it's literally 5-6 different venues that have tables.
That's super cool, dude.
They're all hanging out.
Super cool.
It's their night off.
Building
they
a relationship.
They hang out, spend some money. And, you know, my girlfriend, you know, when she has time off and she goes to different bars, you know, she's tipping everybody.
Right. Right.
You know, because that's just what you do.
You're in the hospitality industry.
You go out, you talk to the people that come to your bar, you meet new people. It's just how it goes. You know, you're supposed to go. Right. Yeah, you're supposed to be helping everybody out.
Right.
Or each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the idea is, and then on her day off, she's going to come to your place and tip you back. As well as, you know, you got a client that's looking for something to do and you're off. Go see my friend Tammy at such and such bar. She'll take great care of you. And now you're kind of sending clients to each other too. And it makes this healthy infrastructure, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
And I think when we all do hang out, we kind of realize that we all like fuck with each other. And then with more and more time that we don't hang out together, then like this animosity or this like me over you thing forms.
Yeah.
And then it takes like, you know, like every once in a while I'll be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, let's just get everybody together and do something, whether it's a basketball tournament or, you know, I think pickleball would be something that's cool because you don't have to be as athletic, right? It'd be something that's fun. Like things like that, I think.
What are you talking about?
Well,
I'm a pickleball monster.
Dude.
I get athletic as fuck.
Every Tuesday. Yeah, well, let me tell you something about this morning.
Pickleball.
I played against, her name was Vivi. She was 84 years old. That lady worked us. Worked us. So it has nothing to do with athleticism or age. It's IQ. It's knowing how to move on the court. That lady.
Positioning.
It looked like she moved 3 feet the whole game. And she had me running like a maniac, dude.
That's funny.
Vivi's not listening to this, but I'm taking that personal. So I'm coming next week.
I think I think that life down here is so fast paced.
Okay.
That, we kind of forget about other people. Like our lives are so fast paced and there's so much going on that, sometimes we just forget about that. And honestly, I'm actually horrible with that.
Cool.
Like I have so much stuff going on in my life, and it has been like that for, since my son was born.
Right. The first one.
Yeah. So, 19 years. That like just so much stuff going on. And, I never made it a point to make time to do that stuff. And only when I started dating the girl I'm with now, we've been together 6 years, is when I really started to realize that, it does need to be more of a community. And we do need to help support each other, because if we don't help support each other, then, that little edge is going to go away. Like a group of 10 people going out to a bar and seeing the, one person and each of them tip $20, that's $200.
Yeah, that's someone's night work right there.
Yeah, exactly. Especially on a Monday, Tuesday night where it's normally slower, whatever. Like that's what you do, And I do that when I go out. I tip well when I go out in general, but I don't really go out that much.
Right. And you're working every other night.
I'm always working. I'm constantly working. And maybe it has to do with the price of living down here, where everybody has to work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's a vicious cycle where, it's very, very, like, it's hard to live by yourself down here. Very hard.
Very hard. Very hard. And if you have a significant other or a child living with you, forget it.
Yeah.
Like you got to go a little far, whether that's west, north, south. I mean, you got to go somewhere a little outside of the area. Fort Lauderdale's becoming the new Miami. Would you agree? I get very good energy up there lately.
It's
missing,
definitely
it's missing
different.
the nightclubs outside of there, right? Like there's no real like Elleven, Live, like the nightclub scene isn't there. But I feel like more people are going out in Fort Lauderdale than in Miami. And more regularly. And maybe it has to do with what you're saying. A, cost of living, and also cost of going out. You can go to a bar in Fort Lauderdale with $100 and get smashed and have a great night.
Yeah.
You go out in Miami with $100, you might have to wash dishes. That doesn't pay for dinner. You know what I mean?
So, when's the last time you went to Del Rey?
Not often enough. I might have been in college the first time, last time I went to Del Rey. But I heard great things. But you see, I feel like Fort Lauderdale's migrating a little more to Del Rey, West Palm, and Miami's migrating a little more to Fort Lauderdale. And hopefully South Florida becomes this thing, this organism, this nightlife, microorganism. Similar like how New York has different pockets of nightlife, and it's completely different. Some nightclubs, some basements, some speakeasies that you don't know exist. And then it offers more variety to the consumer, which at the end of the day, I think Miami's missing. Everybody wants to open, the new hot spot in the new hot area. When Wood first opened, it was like great, $10 shot of beer, Wood Tavern, great. And then in true Miami fashion, we go over there and fuck the whole thing up, right? And now everybody wants to be a Latin club, 1 block away from 24th Street.
Yeah.
And then, South Beach was it, and we fucked that up. And Brickell, and we fucked that up. Doral was fucked up from the beginning, So it's like, and then people see it as an investment, and they're like, well, let me put my money into it, and I want to be the next Dirty Rabbit because I know they're profitable. Well, there's already a Dirty Rabbit.
Yeah.
So you're either now diluting that crowd, or you're competing with something that already exists. How about you just be like yourself? Like, how about you just open something for you?
Yeah.
And then people will be able to connect with it. Great. I wanna 2 last more guest preference style questions. This is about you. Okay. We'll start with favorite book that's not Atomic Habits, because you already plugged it.
Okay.
So what's your favorite book? If I'm a DJ out there or just a human in general, and I like everything you've said, what's a book that you are the way you are because you read this book?
The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
No shit. That's a real book?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I've not heard of it, and I have not read it. So that's something that will add to my collection.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And I honestly suggest the audiobook. I drive a lot. So most of my time I'm listening to audiobooks or podcasts.
I was going to say or podcasts. Amazing.
Yeah, so like there's not a lot of downtime at my house, so I'm not reading a lot.
I could imagine you don't get a lot of silence.
So audiobooks is usually how I go.
Okay.
But the way it's narrated is perfect. The way it's written, the way it's narrated, everything. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
or not
really helped me
not give a fuck.
Yeah. It's the real point of the book is to give a fuck about the right things.
Okay, amazing. Are you familiar with PBD? Paul Bet David?
No.
Patrick Beder, sorry. He came out with a book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same concept, but when looking at like having an enemy. So if you have the wrong enemy, you waste all this attention on somebody that doesn't matter. Yes. It doesn't get, and so like same thing, right? Like if you give a fuck about something that's irrelevant, you're wasting so much bandwidth and energy on something that's irrelevant. So it's like choose your enemies wisely, because if you have the right enemy, it also like, have you ever felt like you're in a competition and you wake up and you're fucking on go mode like 3 minutes into the day and you're like, man, I love this energy. How do I get this? Yeah. It's because something in your head said, wake the fuck up and go. You're competing. Like you have an enemy. You have a common enemy. I mean, I feel that way every time I'm driving in South Florida. That's a different type of enemy. It's like what Jordan would do, right? Like he would psych himself up and be like, what'd you say about my mom? It's like, I didn't say anything. Have a good game. You're like, oh, a good game? I'm gonna show you a good game. He drops 45 on you. And Larry Bird. Yeah, it's like, all those old school guys. Psychotic, but like in a good way, right? Yeah. So I'll recommend that book to you since you brought this up. Sure. Choose Your Enemies Wisely. Phenomenal read. Last question, and this is more of a personal thing. Through guest and through kind of bringing this up, I've seen different reasons for it. But the common denominator is that when you were a child, you gave a fuck less. Oh, yeah. Right? Anything was possible, right? Like, I don't know if it was Obi or MK or something, like, yeah, I just dress up in a box and I was an astronaut and I really thought I was in fucking Mars, you know, like, and I don't know if it's the creativity thing. I don't know if it, like, as a kid, you're not sure what's insane or what's impossible. So everything's possible, right? Like, so there's this cool thing that I'm going to try to put together here, but I remind myself very often, never lose your inner child. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because your inner child didn't give 10 reasons why you couldn't do something. They gave 10 reasons why anything's possible. Yes. Your inner child never looked at the person for all the bad things. It was the good things that you can relate to, right? Because everything was good. You were a child. You were confined, you were kept away from the bad things, you were, you know, you're a child. So in hopes of never losing your inner child, I like asking every guest, when I say inner child, what's a childhood moment that you remember that right now you thought about and made you smile? Like what's a childhood moment, right? That and the reason why is I have certain moments that when I think about that moment, I'm immediately in an amazing mood. You know, I'm in my grandmother's house again, eating arroz con huevo on this little cart that I had that my legs would be like the gas pedals. And I would drive that poor lady fucking insane. But she wouldn't tell me to stop because she saw the joy it would give me. That feeling. Yeah. What's that inner child? My childhood was a lot different than most. Okay. But I think that the thing that I really liked the most was I was an avid soccer player. Okay. I loved soccer. And there was a tournament that I played in Greensboro, North Carolina. And this is sick. Just the grass. Sick. The green grass. It was so green. Smell it, you could feel it right now. It was so green. And even today, like, you know, I see a like green grass and I want to play soccer on it. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just... You know, that's something, you know, like there's not a lot from my past that I really like to remember. Sure. But that's one thing for sure. And that's amazing, man. And never lose that memory, right? Yeah. Because like that inner child is so important in keeping us balanced and stable and sane almost at the end of the day, right? So, Gray, I want to thank you for your time. I know, you know, it's a drive for you to come down here and join us. A little bit. You know, the good thing is I'm letting you out right now at 4 something for traffic. It's going to be perfect. Plug your socials, please. Anybody that would like to connect with Mr. Gray, reach out on DM. He's, you know, he's obviously very... I'm always open to helping people in general. He's been a helping hand forever, and I think he's somebody... now, after sitting with you, I get it, right? The plan, the 1% better, all these things that kind of make up who you are as DJ Mr. Gray, and then no different, you know, as a human. Yes. So definitely relatable. Plug in your socials, YouTube, IG.
Yeah, so Instagram is at DJ Mr. Gray, so DJ MisterGray, and then TikTok is Mr. Gray Music.
Okay.
So those are really the two platforms that I'm on the most.
Sweet.
That I want people to go to.
Never got on TikTok, bro.
So
I know it's
TikTok
it's hard.
is
It's
a funny
barrier.
thing. Like it's easier to get views on TikTok than it is on Instagram.
Okay.
Way easier.
Okay.
Like I have a mashup of mine that's trending right now. It's been on like 25,000
Jeez.
videos.
Well, that's one way to spread the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. Until the next combo, we're out. And I greatly appreciate the insight you were able to give us here, man.
Of course, man. My pleasure.
Till the next one.